What's going on, guys and girls? We're here playing some more Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to complete all the mission tasks for mission 41, which is called Proxy War Without End. So this is the gear we're taking in. We're going to be doing it stealthily, but we also have to extract some vehicles, so we're going to be taking in an EMN mine. We're also going to be taking in some C4 to help us with the helicopter, and also the rocket launcher. I just chose this one. This is the CGM, which is one of the better rocket launchers in the game, mainly because it's got a lot of damage and it's also got the tracking on it. And then I'm also going to be using a D-Dog and a vehicle to help me get around this large mission area, as well as a tranquilizer pistol, just to help me with any of the other people in this mission. So what we're going to do is, as we're being heli lifted in, I'm just going to show you some of the mission tasks or things that we're going to be doing. So first of all, you've got the vehicles that are traveling into this main area. So that's why I like to mark that area, because that is where they're all heading towards. So it just helps me keep track of it. And then you've also got this part here, that is where the rough diamonds are located. So they're located in that room on one of the shelves. So if you want to just go and get that, that's the only thing you're missing, you can feel free to do that. There will be also timestamps in the description, just like always. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to head over this way, and we're going to be intercepting these two vehicles that are showing up. So we have to extract 2 tanks and 2 armored vehicles, and by extracting them you'll also get the eliminating one, so you'll get 3 mission tasks for doing that. So just on this road here you can place some EMN mines to then be able to stop them. So I'm just going to place some over here. I think I placed 2 of them. The reason I placed 2 of them is just a bit of a redundancy, because sometimes they do just dodge them. So if you just didn't put it quite in the right spot, they can just end up driving around it. And so this is the location where I've placed those EMN mines, and you can see the vehicles heading this way. They will end up traveling along that. And if you make sure that you're on this side of the road, that means that you're not going to run into the problem where the tanks turrets, or the armored vehicles turret in this case, will turn around. It'll always turn around on the other side of the road and actually be looking at the other side, so it won't see you if it starts doing that turn and you might be, too close, and it just like spots you. So that's just one thing. And the other thing is, depending on which vehicle you extract first will change the route of the 4th vehicle. So just keep that in mind. So if you extract these 2 vehicles first, then it's going to go on a different route to if you extract the other vehicle first. So we just had to wait for that vehicle to stop looking at this tank, and now we can extract this tank because he's stuck behind the armored vehicle, and we can then extract this armored vehicle. So that's 2 of the vehicles that we need to extract and eliminate. So now what we have to do is we have to run over to the next one. We're just going to have to intercept that somewhere. And once you've extracted the first 3 vehicles, you will have the helicopters start coming in. So depending on how quickly you do that will change how quickly you can actually complete this mission, because you have to wait for the helicopter to arrive, and then also do some other things if you're looking for the commander, because the commander is actually on the helicopter, so you have to wait for it to land so that you can then get the commander if you haven't got that task yet. So we just placed some EMN mines there just to help us out with the next vehicle. So that is the 4th vehicle that we're going to extract. And then we're just going to head over to this road over here so that we can extract this vehicle. So this is one of the tanks, I believe. So we're just going to jump out of our vehicle just on this road, and we're just going to place a couple of EMN mines over here. You can just place 1 if you get it in the right spot. I just like placing 2 because a couple of times I placed 1 and then the tank or something just drove around it, and I was like, oh man, I didn't get it. And so it was just a little bit annoying, so I just decided to keep putting 2 on the area. So now I'm just showing you the locations of the EMN mines that I placed, so just where exactly I placed them. And once you have electrified this tank, you can just come up to it and extract it. I did run into a point where sometimes when I touched the tank and it was being electrified, then I got electrocuted and I got stunned, but most of the time that doesn't happen, so just be aware of that. That could happen to you. So what we're doing now is just going to head back over to the road where we placed the other 2 EMN mines, because there's the road that this guy is going to take. Now remember, as I said, that could change depending on which vehicle you extracted first. So if you extracted the vehicle I just extracted before, then this road will not be the road that he extracted on, it will be the other road. but if you extracted the other two first, then this is the road he will take. So just be aware of that. That changes depending on which one you extract first. And what happened here is there was an explosion for some reason, so that's why I'm looking around just being like, what's going on, because some of these soldiers are now on alert because of an explosion. I think one of them may have walked over one of their own directional mines, I don't know, and they suddenly just all went on alert. So just be aware that that might happen, and it did not affect the fact that the commander got off the helicopter, because when you usually get spotted by a vehicle or something during this mission, before the commander gets off the helicopter, then what happens is the commander never gets off the helicopter. So you want to be very careful about that if you are hoping to get that mission task. Because the commander is on the helicopter, they will stop at this location over here, at this little outpost, and then they will move on to the airport, and that is when he will actually hop off the helicopter. So just be careful not to be spotted by anyone, hopefully during this mission. It just makes it a lot more likely that you will be able to get that mission task, because if the commander thinks that he's in danger or something, then he won't actually just get off the helicopter. The helicopter will sit there. It will be basically landed, but just hovering over the ground, and instead of the guy getting off, it will just like close itself up and no one will get off the helicopter, and you won't be able to get that mission task. So what we're doing now is we're just heading over to the airport, because we might as well start heading over here, because the helicopter is on its way and it actually takes quite a while for it to get over here. So we're just going to go over here and start eliminating some of the soldiers on the airport air base, so that we can end up just making it a bit easier on ourselves. But it can be a bit harder, especially if you get spotted, because obviously, as I said before, the commander might never get off the helicopter, so just be aware of that. So I'm just checking to see where the helicopter is. It is at that little outpost. That is where it stops for a little bit before moving on to this airport. So we just want to see exactly where it was, and what we're going to do is we're just going to start eliminating these guys. So some of them are snipers, and you just want to be careful about them spotting you from too far away, because when they have sniper rifles, they can spot you from a long distance away. So we're just going to start eliminating them like this. So if you want to use something different, like smoke grenades or sleep grenades or anything like that, feel free to do whatever technique you feel comfortable using. I just like using the tranquilizer pistol. It's just the one that I decide to use, and you just have to be careful about this guy as you walk up these stairs, because he may end up spotting you. Because it's that dark, it's nighttime, usually you get a bit more lenience about when they spot you, but if you are just sprinting along, then you have to be very careful, because they will just spot you outright very easily if you're moving too fast. But if you're sneaking around at night like this, then it's a lot easier. So right here again, I'm just checking to see where the helicopter is. It has started to move towards the airport. We want to be very careful about trying to do this, because you also don't want to start extracting people when any of these guards are too close. Just like I've said in a lot of the videos, if you haven't seen any of those ones, you might not know this, but if you are within 30 meters of any of the other soldiers that are still awake, if you try and extract someone, then what will happen is they will hear the extraction process, and then they will come to investigate. Or if it's usually on an extreme version, they won't come and investigate. They'll first call an alert and then come and investigate. So just be careful about that. So that's why I just moved that guy to a point where I can extract him, where he's more than 30 meters away from any of these other guys. This guy is pretty much 30 meters away, so that's totally fine. As you can see, we're about 30 something meters away from that guy, and we're just going to go over to here, and we're going to notice that we're not 30 meters away. So we're just going to pick him up and actually going to try and take him off the roof, but unfortunately that doesn't actually happen. So what we're going to do is we're just going to tranquilize this guy so we can make sure we're 30 meters away from him. Now if you throw this guy off the roof, then you might be able to do it, but then you might end up killing him, so just be careful of doing that. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to extract this guy. Now someone is going to notice something's up, so that is why that guy is going to start running up towards his buddy that is tranquilized on the roof. So we're just going to head up that way. I do get a little bit confused just in this area. I'm trying to be very careful about not getting spotted, but then I also just forget about how to get up onto the top of the roof, so that's why I just go this way. This is a little bit of a mistake, but it doesn't matter. I end up getting there in time. So you just want to head up these stairs if that something like that ends up happening, and then you can just sneak through here and then go through this door, and I'm just going to be able to get this guy. He's going to like hear something and be like, what's going on? But he's not going to see me, luckily, even though I'm really close. So that's one of the advantages of doing this at night, because you kind of really want to get this done as stealthily as possible. And so now the helicopter is landing, and as you can see, the commander has exited off the helicopter. What you can do is you can actually mark the commander just so you can know exactly who that is in this base, or you can just go around and start extracting them. Remember, the commanders always have the red beret, the red hat, so just that's a little tip in case you guys didn't know that. So what we're doing here is we're just waiting for this guy to get out here so we can get rid of him without being spotted. And then what we're going to do is we are going to take out the helicopter. There is also one more guy that we just have to be aware of. He is just down in front of this building. So hopefully, I can't remember if I get rid of him or what do I do. Just drop down here, and we're just going to get rid of this guy. And then what we're going to do is get rid of the helicopter. So what we do here is the helicopter doesn't take one shot. You can't destroy it in one shot with this weapon, so with the rocket launcher. So what I decided to do is to place a bunch of C4 below the helicopter. I don't know if the C4 will destroy it in one go if you just keep placing C4 and then just detonate the C4. So what I decided to do is place a bunch of C4. It might be a bit of overkill, that many bits of C4, and then shoot it with a rocket launcher, but it works very well. And the reason I do this is it just makes it just a lot easier to get the the blueprints that are inside the helicopter, because it's just going to land right there in front of us, and now we can just run over there and get the blueprints right there. So there's the location of where we did it. Depending on when you destroy the helicopter, that is going to change the location of the blueprints. Doing it then just makes it a lot easier to find the blueprints. And now what we're going to do is we are going to go over to the commander and extract them. If they are not on alert, then he is usually inside the building, the same room with the diamonds. But if they are on alert, that means that they are going to be in a slightly different location because they're looking for me. And that includes the commander. He is going to start looking for me. So that is the commander right there. We just have to tranquilize him and then go over and extract them. So that's what we're going to do. Just run through this gate and get him there. So as you can see, he's wearing the red beret, and that is the location that I found him at. He may be in a slightly different location, depending on if it's on an alert system or not. So once you've extracted him, you will get a mission task, and don't head up this way, head up the other set of stairs to get into the room where you're going to find the diamonds. So it's just inside this door right here. And just at the back of this room, you'll see these diamonds just in the shelf right there. So there's the location of the diamonds. Just going to remove that marker so that we can show you the location, just like I did at the start of the video. And then just to extract, just grab those diamonds, and that will be every single mission task complete if you've done everything like I've done in this video. And now all we have to do is get out of the hot zone. So what we're going to do is we're just going to head through this gate, and as soon as you get through this gate, then you're basically out of the hot zone. So once I unlock it and get through, we're out of the hot zone, and that is going to be enough to get us an S rank for this mission. D-Dog has helped us so much in this mission, spotting enemies and all that sort of stuff, so I like using D-Dog a lot. And we're just waiting for it to show up so we can show you exactly what I got for this mission. I got a lot of things unlocked and all that sort of stuff. And here we go. We get 207,000 points, so easily S rank it, because you only need 130 to get this. So you can afford to get some, you know, some kills or no reflexes or something like that. You can afford to lose some of those points that I ended up getting. So that's all I'm going to do for this video. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys have now got all the mission tasks for this mission and possibly the S rank. And now it's time for me to say see you guys and girls, and hopefully see you in the next video.